So now we need to check for a state change or a ready state change from our XML HTTP object. So we say XML HTTP dot on ready state change, and then we equal this to a function. So so basically based on this event, we create a new function, and then inside here we can start checking our ready state and our status of our request. So we say if, and we say XML HTTP dot ready state, and remember our capital S here, so case sensitive, is equal to 4, and our XML HTTP dot status is status is equal to 200. This just means if the page is not blank, or the request isn't blank, I mean, then we complete the rest of this block. So if these are both true, then we create what's in here. So now under our insert field, if you like, here we're typing our the value that we want to insert into our database. We're going to create a div, and what this div is going to do is it's going to feed back the information from our update.inc.php file when we create it. And the reason for this is when we've inserted the data, we're going to tell the user that the data has been inserted. But because we're doing this without refreshing the page, we want to give a confirmation message inside a div. So I'm going to call this div. I've created the structure for the div here. We don't need to put anything in here at the moment, well, at all. I'm going to call the div message. So this is just going to feed back information from our request, our Ajax request, and the output in update.inc.php is going to be put into this div. So hopefully that makes sense. Otherwise, continue to follow along and see what you think. So we've got document .get element by ID, what I struggled with earlier, and then we specify the name of the div. So in this case, it's message. And then what we do is we say inner HTML. And what this is going to do is it's going to set the HTML within this specific div that we've specified. So what we're going to do is I'm going to equal this to XML HTTP dot response text. And all this basically is it's the output sent back from update.inc.php, because we're going to be opening this file later and sending post data to it, and we're going to be taking back the response text from this file. So that's important that we put that into message in order to, let's say if we were to say echo failed at any point in our program, the any time in our script, the message div would be updated. So now that we've done that, we can come down here and we can start to send our post data. Now if you watch the other tutorials, you'll see that we've used XML HTTP.open, and then we've supplied 3 parameters. Don't forget the semicolon at the end. We've supplied the first parameter was get, the next was the file, so this was update.inc.php, and then it was true because we're sending the data asynchronously, so we need to set this to true. It's actually true by default, but I tend to put it in anyway just to ensure that it's there, etc, 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 just for my own peace of mind. So now we say XML HTTP.send. Now there's a few changes that we need to make when we're using post data. You'll see that in some of the other tutorials I've put a question mark here to specify that we're going to be sending get data, and I've sent some specific data. So I've said, for example, text equals hello. Okay, so what I've done there is I've sent get data because it's as part of the URL. So let's go ahead and test this so we can see that everything's working with regards to the Ajax. So at the moment, what this Ajax will do is it will open this update.inc.php file, or and it will pass through a variable called text, which is a get variable with the value hello. So what we can do inside here is just echo out $_get text, and what that should do is it should re-echo what we've entered into the text box, because remember what we enter into the text box is being picked up. Sorry, let's go back here. What we enter into the text box will be picked up eventually by this. So this will equal hello just for now, and it will put that into our message div down here, as I explained earlier. So let's go ahead and check that this works. Let's click submit, and you can see that the value hello has been returned. Now obviously the problem with this at the moment is we've completely avoided the point of the tutorial. We need to post data using post. So the first thing I'm going to do is change this to post, and I'm going to get rid of these variables on the end here, because we don't post data through the URL.